Sup guys, it's Nama Weingarten here. Recently, I collaborated with CBC's podcast, The Dog Project, on a story that is all about the credit mill industry. Now, if you don't know what credit mills are, they're not exactly your average day-to-day private schools. They're schools where you can go to obtain individual credits like English or math. But the problem is that a lot of students choose to get their credits at these schools just to raise their marks. Some of these schools let their students take their tests home. Some of these schools give students their test questions ahead of time. It's things like this that can give credit mill students an unfair advantage over those who can't afford them. So when I was in grade 12, I made a doc about this. I interviewed a bunch of students who told me their stories, but even after hearing from students, I felt like I needed to see things for myself. So I got these spy glasses online. There's a camera right here. Then I called up a bunch of private schools in the GTA. I told them I'm a grade 12 student who's looking to get into a really prestigious program, but my marks just do not cut it. And little side note, I actually purposely called them right around midterms, just to see if they would let me into the classroom halfway through the semester. I said I wanted to redo some of my credits, but just wasn't sure what private school I wanted to do them yet. So then I asked if we can meet for a consultation, just for me to come by and ask a couple questions about the school before I actually think about signing up. And then I went to the consultations wearing my spy glasses, and I also brought my dad, so it seems a little bit more legitimate. This was right around April of 2018, but even now, nearly 2 years later, I never let go of the story. This past summer of 2019, I decided to redo most of the docs, so I re-interviewed nearly most of the students who were in my grade 12 doc, and also found some new ones who were willing to share their stories. You can listen to some of that footage on CBC's podcast. And in the podcast, I also briefly talked about going undercover. And now, it kind of feels like the right time to get it out there, so here goes. The first school I went to was Rich Tree Academy, located in Thornhill. When I met up with the principal at the time, I told her I wanted to redo some of my credits.
The only thing is though, if I did finish like calculus in public school with a pretty good mark. Like how would I know if I do pay you all this money? How would I know that if I take calculus in this school that I would finish with a higher mark?
Because you already took the class. Now it will be easier for you to update your marks. Yes, and I'm gonna send them to OUAC your projective mark right now. That you're gonna get the exception before midterm. I'm gonna send them your name and the ENG for you, for example. I'm gonna send them 92 MHF for you. 90 MCV for you, 92. Final for them. But you have to sit down and do it.
No, of course, I will.
If you're not gonna achieve this mark, you have to redo it again.
Of course.
And again, and again.
So yeah, I was basically told that I could upload all of my marks before I do any of the work, and then I would just have to redo the tests again and again until I actually get those marks. This past fall of 2019, a year and a half after I went there, I called Umka and I told them all about the footage. Then I asked them for a comment.
That never has happened before. Like, nope.
Not even back in, you would say, like March or April of 2018?
No. At that time, we had our principal was, unfortunately, she passed away. I'm sure that she wouldn't ever done that. I'm the one who submits all the final marks in OUAC. Never, ever at that time, the principal. Not at all.
Private schools get inspected by the Ministry of Education to make sure that they live up to their standards. And this leads to the next school we're going to talk about, Alliance Coaching Academy, located in Markham.
I just want to redo the 2 credits, but thing is I'm aware of the fact that it's almost midterms.
You can take advanced functions. I don't mind you taking it. I can take you right now, but the only thing is that we have an inspection coming up on Saturday, so
okay.
You cannot come to that inspection.
No, of course.
This past fall, I called them as well and asked for comment about everything that's in the footage.
I guess I just wanted to get your comment on that.
I'm interested, sweetie. I'm interested. Thank you.
Hello?
I called again.
So?
Hey, it's me who called before. I don't know why, it's strange, the phone.
I'm not interested, sweetie. I'm not interested. Thank you.
So that's that for Alliance Coaching. And the very last school I went to is Discovery Academy, located in Richmond Hill.
Basically, I was interested in registering for a course. English? Yes. I was wondering if I could do it before midterms, so maybe I can get some sort of marking.
Are you taking English in this school?
I already took it, but I just want to prove my.
What's your mark?
I got a 71 when I took it the first time, and I'm going for Ivy, so
What do you want?
like I need about like 91, 92 average.
So why did you right now not accept?
I was kind of hoping my other marks would balance it off, but then I just decided that this was the only choice.
Monday 1 to 6:30 tonight.
So just complete the assignments that I missed out on, or just do?
No, that's too much.
Oh, so just kind of resume with the class.
Yeah, it's a lot of assignments.
Okay.
Come tomorrow. I'm going to register you right now. Talk to the teacher, see if you can do it.
And so I went to speak to the English teacher.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if I can actually get into an English class sometime before midterms. It's just that, like, what's it called? My English mark wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, and I'm trying to get into, I don't know if you know, like, Ivy. I'm getting pretty good marks in all my other classes. It's just that class that's kind of pushing me back.
We have Unit 1, Unit 2, we are on Unit 3 now.
I mean, I already know most of the information. Like, I know all of Hamlet. I know all the
We don't do it
approaches.
here.
Oh, you guys don't do Hamlet here?
Because every single school decides what's easier or convenient or something. Yeah? We can do Unit 2.
And this past fall, I also met up with Discovery's principal just to get a comment about everything that's in the footage. He said that during Shakespeare is actually not a ministry requirement, and that in Discovery, they don't necessarily do what's easier for students, but they choose to do what students will find more interesting. He said that at Discovery, integrity is their main value, and right now they are conducting an internal investigation to make sure some of the issues raised in the footage won't occur again. So this is it for the undercover footage. I hope I give you guys a little sneak peek into what can happen inside these private schools that our ministry regulates. And I think it's time we talk about it. So let's talk about it.